I am Adrienne, so excited to introduce today. Oh, someone coming in from Spain, Tess Jewell-Larsen. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Adrian. Thank you so much for starting this and getting us going today. So I am based in Spain. I'm originally from Oregon, however, but I have lived here for over half my life, something that I just realized a few weeks ago, which is pretty crazy. So I am a yoga therapist, a mindfulness coach, somatic healer, and I have been working in this space for several years now. I started just after COVID. Well, technically, I started just before COVID, but I really set things off just after COVID because I was realizing that, you know, in COVID especially, we have learned that we were very disconnected from ourselves, and this was causing a lot of havoc in my own life. And then I was seeing it in other people's lives, and I was like, how can I support other people? How can I support myself? And so I really dove into therapeutic yoga and somatic healing and mindfulness to see how I can support myself and how I can share this with other people. And so through that, yeah, we're here today, and we're hoping that this summit will be able to not only give you a few tools that you can use in your own time to support yourself, but you could also use it as a way to empower yourself and your community. Because let's face it, we need the support for ourselves and our community so much right now. And so I hope you feel that love, that warmth that I am sending out your way, that we're all sending out your way. And, even if it's just a little nugget, I hope that today's practice it gives you a little bit of that. So the practice today is a therapeutic yoga practice. It's about 30 minutes, more or less. And so what we're going to do is at the beginning, we're going to work on grounding and releasing. So much of us so many of us, I should say, are really holding our stress, our fears, or whatever it is that's happening in our lives right now, and this gets stuck in our bodies. And when that gets stuck in our bodies, this messes with our internal patterns. This messes with how we think, how we connect with other people, and it affects how we are able to live our day to day. And so this practice is geared to helping you release some of that isn't serving you anymore, and then working to kind of rebuild and reconnect with yourself. So without further ado, I'm going to jump over to my mat. I hope that you come with me, and you don't need a lot. If you want to have a couple of pillows, a block, a couple of blankets, you don't need any of it though. At the end, I am going to bring in a chair. Well, technically I use a sofa, but you could use a wall, chair, whatever. Anyway, we can go into that a little bit more when we jump onto the mat. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this session. And Adrian, thank you so much for being here and joining me, and everyone else that joins in through this summit. Thank you so much. Let's get going. Hello and welcome. My name is Tess Jewell-Larsen, and in today's session, we're going to do a therapeutic yoga session that is designed to help us release whatever is no longer serving us. Maybe that's us feeling anxious, maybe that's feeling overwhelmed, maybe there's just lots of things going on and lots of things that are being pent up inside. And so the idea here is we're gonna release that in a compassionate, gentle way. And then we're going to work to rebuild. We're going to work to restore, really giving back to ourselves and lifting ourselves up from our gentle movement, breath work, and just mindful awareness. So in today's session, if you want to have a blanket, I'm currently sat on a blanket, folded blanket, you can have one. You could have several. If you have a block or a pillow, if you want a block but you don't have a block at home, you could always use a big book as well. And then at the end, I'm going to invite you to bring your legs up onto something. So that could be a stack of pillows, that could be a sofa, a chair, a wall, right? So whatever you have nearby, use those tools that you have. You don't have to go out and buy anything special for this. Just use what you have nearby. So with that being said, I'm going to invite you to come onto your back. Now, if you really want to cozy things up, perhaps you spread out a blanket first, right? Maybe you're really just giving yourself this permission to tune in, to ease, to let go. And if spreading out a blanket helps with that, then please spread out a blanket. So often we think, oh, I can just do without, right? But then when we do these things for ourselves, it just makes that little difference that really makes a big difference. So, as I said, I'm going to invite you to come onto your back. Now, if extending your legs out, it just doesn't feel right now. Maybe that's too much tension in the lower back. Maybe it's just not comfortable to come out fully here. You can always keep your feet on the ground, knees relaxed here, or you could bring a pillow or something, a rolled blanket under the knees to help support the lower back. But what we're first going to do is we're going to find a little rocking. So if it is comfortable for you to extend the legs out, I really would recommend that you do that. But you can do this with your knees bent as well. So coming into this reclined position here. And first, before anything, we're just going to scan through the body. We're going to start the top of the head and roll down, noticing any sensations that are arising for us. Observing any sensations coming from the head, the neck, down the shoulders, into the arms and hands and fingers. And as we roll down, as we observe, doing our best to be compassionate with whatever arises. We notice judgments coming up, observe them, and then see if you can release them. Letting that awareness scroll down through the chest, the heart space, down the spine into the abdomen, pelvis, down into the hips, legs, feet, and toes. Noticing any and every sensation arising. We are a spectrum of sensation. Very rarely is there just one thing coming up. But if you're only noticing one thing, or there's one thing that's really sticking out to you, be mindful of it. But see if there's anything else that's there. Notice if there's any tension in the body, if there's any release. One side feels heavier or lighter than the other side. Perhaps noticing the breath, not trying to change it in any way, just observing that gentle inflow and outflow of air. Where do you feel the expansion, the contraction, release? When we are feeling tense, when we're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, our breath tends to stay in our chest. We tend to have shallow, quick breathing. Our inhale is generally longer than the exhale. So if we can sort of start to invite our breath to move more fully down into the abdomen, into the rib cage, we can sort of start to invite that exhale to extend just a little bit longer. We don't have to force it anyway, just invite a little extension on the exhale. See what happens. And then from here, I'm going to invite you to start wiggling in the toes. Just kind of moving the toes around, see what that feels like. And then I'm going to invite you to start pumping the toes. And see how that movement starts to move through the legs. So moving up into the feet, into the legs, into the pelvis. Perhaps finding bigger movements now that you feel that rocking into the spine, to the chest, the shoulders, into the arms, maybe even noticing it in the hands and the fingers. Noticing that rocking up into the neck and head. We're going to continue this for A few more counts. So just keep rocking for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then pause and observe. Observing any sensations. Maybe noticing some tingling. Maybe not. Maybe noticing parts of your body feeling a little bit more at ease. Maybe not. Whatever is coming up for you. Allowing it with compassion. And then from here, I'm going to invite you to bring your feet back up onto the earth if they weren't already there. And we're going to reach our arms up over the top of the head. Extending arms up. Nice big breath here. Nice big stretch. And then as you exhale, bring those hands back down. Do that again. Inhaling the arms up overhead. And as you exhale this time and bring the hands down, maybe pressing to the feet, activating the glutes and lifting the hips up as well. Inhaling to soften the pelvis down, back down, arms reaching up overhead. And we'll do that one more time. Exhaling to lift. Hands lowering down. Coming back to center here. Once again, finding a full stretch, maybe extending legs out to find that full body stretch here. Exhaling, hands down next to the sides. Now from here, we're going to roll over onto our side. Maybe just pause there for a moment before pushing up into a tabletop position. Now when we get here, maybe if you had your blanket fully rolled out, maybe fold it back up again. Just so that you can give a little extra support under the knees and shins. And we're going to do a couple of cat-cows. So just bringing your wrists under the shoulders. Now, if this isn't comfortable to bring the hands flat on the ground here, you could create fists. Let's get a little extra support through the wrist. Or you could always come down onto your forearms as well, bringing elbows under the shoulders. We're just going to find a couple of cat-cow here, lifting the tailbone, abdomen soften down, heart reaches between the arms as the chin lifts here. With your exhale, take the tailbone down, around to the spine, head releases down. We'll do that a couple more times, Moving with your breath. And then we're going to come back to center, walking hands back. We're going to come into a high kneeling position. Now, if your back is feeling tender, if your core is feeling tender, or not feeling like you want to do loads and loads of work right now, bring a block or a pillow or a stack of pillows and bring them in front of you. So your forehead is going to come down onto this block or pillow. So we're just lifting the earth up. Your block could be on baby bear style, mama bear, or papa bear. Okay, so just see how far, how low it feels comfortable for you right now. It could also be straight down onto the floor. Okay, so we're going to reach our arms up overhead. We're going to find a nice inhale, bringing those hands up. And as we exhale, we're going to hum. So hands are going to come down, palms extended out. So we're finding that external rotation. Hands come to the small of the pat, and we're going to hum the breath out as we bring our forehead down towards the earth or towards our block. Inhale here, and with your exhale, maybe using pursed lips, use that support to lift yourself back up. Coming back up. We're going to do that 2 more times. So find that inhale. Exhaling your way down. One more time. Using the exhale to lift. Inhaling the arms up. And last time, humming it out. And we're just going to hold that pose. Maybe it's in that higher lifted pose. Maybe you come all the way down into a child's pose. Hands are maybe resting next to the sides, out in front of you. And just observe that hum, the vibrations release, moving perhaps through the body, releasing anything. Perhaps visualizing whatever it is to release into the earth. Whatever is no longer serving you, give it to the earth. And visualize perhaps that energy being transformed. And with each inhalation, you're pulling in that transformed energy, healing energy, back into the body. And on your next inhale, we're going to make our way up. Bringing hands next to the knees, toes tucking under, hips lifting up here. Hands walking back towards the feet. We're going to come into our forward fold. Now your knees can bend generously here. The legs do not have to be straight. Let the abdomen and chest rest on the thighs. Hands can be on the ground. They can be on the legs. Be holding onto elbows. We could find a little rock side to side or just find stillness. So see what feels right for you in this moment. Then on your next inhale, we're going to lift halfway up. Hands maybe rolling up the body. Lifting here so that we have a nice straight spine. Shoulder blades resting on the back. Exhaling to forward. And we'll do that one more time. Inhaling to lift halfway up. Feeling the strength of this posture as you're lifting halfway up. Exhale whenever it comes to forward fold. Then inhaling all the way up this time. Reaching arms up overhead. Exhaling hands to heart. And then releasing hands down next to the side. So from here, we're going to step forward with our right foot. Now, if you had a blanket in front of you, you can always move that if you haven't done it already. We're going to step that right foot forward. We're going to turn our left toes out about 35 to 40 degrees. So this step forward, it's not a huge step forward. We can easily step back, step forward again. And then with our next inhale, we're going to bend that knee. We're going to reach the arms up overhead. We're pressing into our back foot. We're finding a gentle tilt forward here. So we're kind of finding a nice straight line from the back heel all the way up to the top of the head. Inhale here. Whenever your exhale comes, we're going to create cactus arms. We're going to open the chest, really lifting our heart space. And then inhale to reach those arms forward again. I'm just going to show you here from another angle. Exhale. Cactus arms, lifting the heart space. Inhaling one more time. And then we'll let the arms release down and we'll step it back. And just take a moment there to observe. Whenever your next inhale comes, reach the arms up overhead again. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe letting those hands slide down the legs. Inhale to lift halfway up. Exhale to forward fold. And again, lifting halfway up. Feeling that strength, that inner strength as you lift, you extend. Exhale. Releasing. Then inhale, making all the way up. Taking the arms up overhead. Exhaling hands to heart. And then releasing the hands down next to the sides. We're going to step forward with the left foot this time. Those right toes turning out 35 to 40 degrees. Feet are on opposite train tracks here, so we're not feeling wobbly. Pelvis pointed forward as you inhale, bending that front knee, tracking over the ankle, arms reaching forward. Find that gentle tilt to the upper body so we have that nice straight line from the heel and the back, pressing down all the way up to the top of the head. As we exhale, creating those cactus arms, pulling the shoulder blades together, lifting in the heart space. Inhale. Exhale. One more time here. And then letting the arms release down, stepping it back. And just taking a moment here to observe. With your next inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, we're going to find a forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway up. Exhale, release it down. One more time, halfway up. And then exhale, release it down. From here, we're going to come back into our high kneeling position. So maybe once again, bring your blanket back in here and your block in front of you. So this time we're going to switch up a little bit. We're going to change the breath work that we're doing this. So we're going to do something called breath of joy. You may have done this before, you may have not. The whole idea here is that we're combining our movement with our breath, and we're going to split our inhale up into 3 parts. So we're doing 3 sips, one on top of the other. And each sip of inhale, we're going to take our arms out. So arms out to the side, the first sip. Second sip, arms come down to come up about shoulder height. And then the third sip, arms come all the way down to reach up overhead. And then with the exhale, nice fluid exhale out, we're going to bring those hands behind the back like we did before, releasing out. Head down. So do that again. Inhale. 1 sip. 2 sip. 3 sip. Exhaling it out. All the way down. One final time here. And if you want, this last time as we do this, you can always do a humming breath out and see what that feels like. That combination of that 3-part breath in, filling your lungs, bringing in that joy, and then exhale, humming it out. Sending that joy to all the different parts of your body. Maybe your head comes onto that block. Maybe it comes all the way down into child pose. One last time here. Feeling those vibrations of the hum. Any remnants of them moving throughout the body. Filling the body with joy, easeful energy. And letting go, releasing of anything else that's just no longer serving in this moment. Now from here, we're going to start to make our way up, and we're going to come into a legs up a chair, wall, onto pillows. The whole idea is to bring the feet, the legs higher than the heart space. So if you are coming next to a chair, next to a wall, you might want to have a little blanket or pillow under the hips, just to give yourself a little extra support here. And we're going to bring the side of our hip next to our chair, our wall, whatever it might be, sofa in my case. All right, so we're bringing that side of the hip there, feet are coming out in front of us, and we're going to come back onto our forearms. And then from here, we're going to move the forearms, and we're going to take the legs up onto the chair, onto the wall, whatever it might be. So if your wall, maybe your legs are extended up like this. You have your lower legs on the sofa or on the chair. Settle in here. And if you wanted to as well, if you had a strap or a towel or another blanket, you could always wrap those around the legs, keeping the legs in a little bit more and just really inviting the whole body to release here, to relax, to feel comforted, supported. Inviting each breath coming in, filling you with compassionate strength, wisdom. Each breath going out, releasing what's no longer serving. Each breath in and breath out, this gentle reminder that we have the opportunity, we have the ability, we have the wisdom and strength and the resilience to meet whatever life throws us. We have that ability to tune in to that perfect response. It's not always the easiest thing. And sometimes it takes time and exploration to get there, and that's okay. But it is there, inside of you. And sometimes just by slowing things down, releasing whatever isn't serving, connecting our breath and our body, so that mind-body connection can help guide us forward. I invite you to stay here as long as you like. Perhaps exploring what this means to you. Perhaps exploring what it means just to be. Or perhaps just to let everything go and just let yourself rest and release. staying here as long as you like. But whenever you are ready, bringing your knees back into the chest, hugging your knees there. Once again, this does not have to be now. Perhaps this is in a few minutes. Hugging it in. Giving yourself that love, that compassion that you are worthy and deserving of, even if that seems difficult to connect with in this moment. And then rocking over to one side. Lifting yourself up. Taking your time, no rush. Finding a comfortable seated position. And one last time here. Maybe bringing hands together at heart center and giving yourself gratitude for showing up for you, listening to your inner wisdom. And I thank you so much for joining me today.